Okay, let's move on to number 3. Oh, God. Number 3, episode 366. Mike's exciting new business.
See, right ahead of you. I look back at this year and all the crap that I've complained about and things that have been stressing me out. And I probably, if I look at the year as a whole, really have nothing to complain about. I think I always look at the things that aren't going right and turn those into mountains instead of a molehill. But man, this new business we purchased, knocking on wood, I swear if I say these things out loud and the world crumbles after this, I'm going to be pretty mad. But things have gone about as good as they possibly could. It's been a really fun year. It's the thing that's kept me motivated and moving. We have grown this business significantly over this last year. I've really enjoyed working with the team we put together. It's what kind of keeps me getting up in the morning, and I am fueled by things that are going well. It's like kind of infectious, and so like when things aren't going well in other parts of the business, this kind of at least is the counterbalance that's really helped with that. And it's really neat seeing the way that we've grown. To begin with, we were just basically trying to keep the wheels on the bus and just put up the same numbers that we had from the year before when we inherited it, which was tough because the year before was a COVID year. And, this is a home improvement type business, and it did quite well. And so we had some year-over-year months that weren't as good as the previous year. But now when we look at the year-over-year at this point that we've had time for all the things that we've done to kick in, we are really widening the gap over the previous year. And it's really fun to look at on a chart. And it makes me really proud of the team because, I've just been the orchestrator. I've done very little of the actual work. I just get the guys to point them in the right direction. And, man, it's been awesome.
Something I want to touch on too, episode 381, how Mike is growing his new e-commerce business. Didn't quite make the top 10. I think it was number 13. But can you touch on that a little bit? Like, what were some of the things that you focused on for this new business? And unfortunately, this business is kind of shrouded in mystery a little bit because it has some investors, and basically part of the agreement was that Mike doesn't talk to the world about what the business actually is. But like he mentioned, it's in the home improvement niche. But what were some of the things that you were doing to get the growth that you got this year? Yeah.
So the first, I'll talk about the thing that didn't perform as well as I was hoping, which was redoing all the listings. I really thought that the conversion rate did get better, but it didn't make the impact that I was really hoping. I thought that was going to be a massive driver of new revenue, and it just hasn't made the difference that I thought it would. I'm really proud of the listings, and I guess we keep track of everything week by week conversion rate wise, and it did make a difference, but again, it didn't make the difference that I really thought. I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that a lot of the products already ranked really well already, and you can't really go higher than number one. Maybe it's helped us keep the number one rankings for a lot of things or whatever, but that was the thing we put a lot of effort into, and it didn't have as much yield as I was hoping.
I'm shocked because the listings were absolutely garbage. I shouldn't say garbage, but
not fair.
I mean, because I know the previous owners, so sorry if you're listening. But they weren't very good. There was a lot of room for easy improvement in those, and I'm surprised it didn't double your conversion rate.
It didn't. I mean, again, there were definitely listings where the conversion rate got better, but it doesn't make a lot of sense because the sales didn't get significantly better. It was an interesting year from a perspective of it's also the year that a lot of Chinese sellers came in, I think either factories directly or whoever they were. And so it's hard to say, maybe by doing that, we retain sales and that we wouldn't have otherwise. It's hard to know what the year would have looked like, if not for that. But it just didn't have the black and white comparing year over year uplift that I really hoped that it would. And so anyway, that was the first thing we put a lot of effort into. The other things that we put the effort into have made a huge difference. We put a lot of effort into SEO. We have put out a lot of content. We redid the website, first of all. We switched from, it was on eCommerce, and now we're on Shopify. And we redid the whole website. The conversion rate on the website immediately had a huge uplift, almost 100% uplift in conversion, which immediately doubled our sales on the website. And then we started working on adding all the content, which takes time to write the content, and it takes time for the content to start performing. But our website sales are now 3x what they were this time last year, literally 3x, which I'm really proud of. And our traffic is also 3x, which, kind of is in line. So, part of it's like the conversion rate was better. That immediately helped. The traffic is 3x higher, but like that traffic doesn't convert quite as well as the old traffic in terms of sheer percentage points, because a lot of it is organic, random search traffic. But that's been helping a lot. And I think that this bleeds over on the Amazon, but it also diversifies our business, which makes me sleep a little better at night. We've gone from 4% Amazon to 4% Shopify to 15%. Which is starting to make a dent, and I think that's going to continue to widen. That gap is going to widen over the next year because we've really hit our stride on the Shopify store. The other thing we started doing is email marketing. I love email marketing. We talked, I finally have something to do email marketing for again, and we started sending our first emails out in the last couple months, and the numbers are amazing. Like every time we send an email out, it's making us 4 figures. Just printing money. So that's been pretty neat. The thing that's probably moved the needle more than anything, which I'm excited to talk a little bit about here real quick, has just been launching more products. It really proves that there's still life on Amazon in 2021 and 2022. There's still opportunity to launch a brand new business, launch brand new products, get started on Amazon. I've been a little bit, I don't know, hurt, or I don't know what the right word is, jaded or something with Amazon, because things have been more difficult than they used to be. But 20% of our business now, as of last week, it's like 21% is new products. So we've grown the business just doing that alone by 21%, and that's kind of it takes time for a lot of these new products to really start to rank and do well, and so. If we just didn't launch any new products next year at all and just looked at those products, I think that'll actually probably represent 40% of our business by the end of next year, as those SKUs continue to grow. Plus, we're going to continue to launch more products. We're launching a product a week, Dave. A product every week gets launched, and I'm really excited about it.
Yeah, and I think you had a great methodology there, basically telling your team every week we need to launch a product, and having that very firm static deadline every week is a great goal to give a team. Something we do now with eCommerce with our content team is every week you guys got to put out an article, not once or twice a month where the target's kind of moving, but a very static goal that everybody is clear about and gives a great objective to everyone. Yeah,
and I mean, I'm just, again, the team that we have here is just, our whole team is amazing, but I end up working with the new business a lot more because I'm kind of the one orchestrating a lot of that stuff. And I don't know, it's been amazing. Like at first they were obviously like, oh, I don't know, man, like this doesn't seem possible. But they took it in stride. And, we aren't launching half-assed products and listings, right? They have to look good. They have to hit like all the benchmarks, and it's been cool. It's definitely been cool. The last thing that we did doesn't affect the top line, but we're working on some bottom line stuff, which is to source the products directly ourselves from China. This project has been grueling. We started it back in like March. It's now December. We still don't have our first products landed in the U.S. yet. We have samples. I got some samples finally, and we're getting closer and closer. But my dream of having this stuff ship out before the end of the year is now kind of dead, and now I'm like praying that it'll ship before Chinese New Year, which is not looking like it's going to happen either. So I think it's probably going to be March by the time we have those products from China, but that will make us a much healthier business. It's going to improve our margins. In a year where prices have gone up substantially, especially in this business, again, home decor, a lot of raw material type things, steel, aluminum, plastics, etc. Holy crap, man! It's been brutal, like seeing our prices go up. But I also know that like pretty shortly here, when we get our manufacturing tooled up, that we're going to go back to the old pricing basically, or even still see some savings over what we were paying for things this time last year. And we'll be a more efficient business. We'll be able to have things shipped directly into Amazon. We'll be able to reduce our labor costs and logistics costs in the U.S. and we're going to take all that effort into launching even more new products next year. I mean, at some point, I'm hoping that we can get to 2 new products per week, and use a lot of the manpower that we've been using just running the business this year, and put that into launching even more new products. So I'm really excited about it. I think the prospects are good. Certainly the investors that came along on this ride are very happy. I think that we have a path to basically being able to double from where we started by the end of next year with really as long as nothing goes wrong. That's always the thing. It's like, and I just worry about that all the time now. It's like, what's going to go wrong? Like yesterday we're sitting at brunch and my team from the Philippines is texting me like, oh my God, we got like dozens of alerts from Elite Seller that like someone's in modifying our listings. And you start worrying about stuff like that happening, and it's kind of scary.
All right. Well, hopefully nothing comes of that scare.